Hello, my name is Lucina Pina, and for my project, I partnered up with Valeria Arellano, and we chose the Japanese invasion of Korea from 1910 to 1945. In this image, you can see Japanese soldiers arriving in Seoul, Korea during the Russo-Japanese War, and the date was from 1904 to 1905. In this image, you can see Japanese officers on horseback in the narrow street in Seoul, 1904. Korean comfort women under the Japanese Empire, while Japan claimed these women volunteered their services to the empire. Many of the former prostitutes later testified that they were coerced, desired, or kidnapped from their homes and forced into the industry. Once recruited, the women were posted in comfort stations throughout the Japanese occupied territories where they were frequently raped and beaten by Japanese soldiers. Around 3/4 of comfort women died, and many survivors were left infertile due to sexual trauma or disease. Though the Japanese government has since made several formal apologies and provided compensation to victims, it's understandable why many Koreans find it hard to forgive the country. We are going to talk about Kim Bok-dong. Kim Bok-dong, born in April 24, 1926, and died January 28 in 2019. She was a South Korean human rights activist who campaigned against sexual slavery and war rape. She was a young lady who was enslaved by the Japanese Imperial Army, which recruited females between the ages of 10 and 18 from colonial and occupied nations from the 1930s through the conclusion of World War II. She placed in comfort stations for 8 years, starting at the age of 14 in various Asian nations. As a result of her experiences, she became an activist fighting for the abolition of sexual abuse during wartime, anti-imperialism, workers' rights, and inter-Korean peace. She demanded 3 things from the Japanese government, along with the other so-called comfort women: a formal state-level apology, reparations, and historical rectification. This image shows the March 1st demonstrations taking place in 1919 were one of the earliest displays of public resistance against Japanese occupation. Tens of thousands of Koreans were killed or injured during the protest, and many surviving activists were faced with the abysmal conditions of Sodemong prison. As we can tell, this war was really horrible as they were trying their best to survive. In this image, a Japanese officer is seen taunting a senior Korean with all their intentions. So during Japanese corruption, as we can tell, people are walking. Here we have citizens cheering along with independence fighters from Sodemung prison along with liberation, August 15, 1945. As we can tell, everyone is happy as they gained what they wanted. And what they wanted was having independence of their own. As for them, we are very glad they were able to get their independence, as we wouldn't want that to happen to us, as we can also be happy about it. Thank you.